shifting into another subject is the immigration laws that we're trying to put into effect, right? Specifically, SB 1231, Senate Bill 1231, which allows state and local police officers to arrest illegal immigrants on the spot. I was here in Arizona back when SB 1070 went down in 2010. That one was pretty bad.
Our whole school left. Like, I remember our whole districts walked out because we were out in El Mirage. Well, and obviously, you know, it's mainly Hispanics over there.
Well, imagine this, right? So that bill was people were getting pulled over left and right because of
what was that
based
bill?
off suspicion.
Correct.
That's different than this one.
Yeah.
This is hey, we know you're here illegally, and we can arrest you. SB 1070 was ridiculous, right? Oh, I think you look Zaidi. What's your background? Armenian?
What you think?
No, you're not.
You're
Armenian. You're Armenian, right? You look like a little
Persian
cholo.
Armenian. Yeah.
You look like a little cholo.
You look suspect.
What's up? This is.
You're Armenian?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's powerful.
But if you have dark hair, and I'm like, okay, well, you look like you're.
If they profiled you.
Yeah. Right.
That's what was happening a lot, right? So anyway. What do you guys think of this SB 1231, allowing state and local police to be able to arrest illegal immigrants?
I think there's a couple things. I think if you're a rancher in southern Arizona, southern California, southern Texas, and you already probably barter individuals into your ranch to work and they go back home. But I think that right now with the unknown of people crossing, we don't know who's really crossing. And you have a ranch where you provide jobs for people and to keep them safe. How would you like if somebody intruded into your home, into your family while you're cooking and cleaning and some random person is in your backyard? What would you do? And I think that's just common sense for any individual, whether it's today's society or former societies, is how do you protect your people? And there's different perspectives on that.
So Border Patrol arrests, right, just through Mexico, by the way, in December, recorded 249,785 Border Patrol arrests in just 1 month.
Wow.
That was up 31% versus November, the previous month, 191,112. Right. So let me just say this, okay? When it comes to immigration, some stunning statistics, right? These are shocking. You know how America always thinks that, because I have Republican family and stuff like that, and they're constantly like, oh, those illegals, they'll break the law. They're criminals, right? They always categorize illegals or illegal immigrants with criminals. Yes, very often, right?
I agree with that.
Watch this. There are 13 million undocumented immigrants, according to the Washington Post, right now in America. And guess what? Illegal immigrants are less likely to break the law than citizens.
Because they don't want to get deported. They're
Right?
scared, yeah.
It gets even a little deeper. The illegal immigrant homicide conviction rate is 14% below that of Native Americans in the country. Watch this. Legal immigrants, legal migrants, right?
Yeah.
They have a 62% lower homicide rate versus illegal immigrants. And illegal immigrants already have a 14% homicide rate, which is even below one of the smallest classes, right?
For sure.
Of Americans. What's your feedback on something like that, where you categorize illegal immigration with criminals and the data says absolutely not?
I think that whenever you have to work for something and you have to come to the country, because most people are coming to the country for a better opportunity, right? And from what I've seen, the people that actually come over here, we could use you as an example. We use your mother as an example. Your mother came over here and she was super hardworking. She gave everything she could so that you guys could have the life that you needed. You also went to work at a very young age, right? And so I've seen this over and over again because I've done masonry work, I've done landscaping, steel work, and a lot of the places I worked at, we had undocumented illegal immigrants, right? And they were some of the kindest people I ever worked with. They were some of the most hardworking people. But if you look at it from a macro scale, what I think is really happening is there's a loyalty that will be formed for whoever lets them into the country, right? And so for all of these people, they're not looking at it from our political system, because let's be honest, they've been so engulfed in their own problems in their own country that they're only focused on getting here and creating a better life. That whoever gives them that opportunity for a better life, they're going to vote for that party. Well, it just makes sense. So long term, that's what I think the play is.
Well, not only that, but we by the way, immigrants, right? And I say we because I was an immigrant. I'm a citizen now, but we constantly live in fear.
Sure.
We constantly live in fear. You're right. We don't want to break the law.
Yeah.
We don't want to even get caught driving.
Sure.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Scary.
Let alone shoot somebody or rob somebody. You know, we don't want to get caught driving.
For sure.
Many of us, and I speak for, I would say a majority of immigrants, we want to come to this country. If there was a legal way to come to this country, we would do it. But the fact of the matter is two things are working against us. One, we don't have the money to start the immigration process, number one. It's thousands and thousands and thousands.
Well, it's a lot. It's a hefty process.
It's not free.
Yeah, and then I would say number two, we don't have the right immigration system. You know, so immigration as a whole, or the Department of Homeland Security now, they approve depending on which country you're from, right? There's a structure, in my opinion, that's broken. They'll approve a very small percentage of this country, right? But they'll approve a high percentage of this country. They will allow X amount of cases to be processed per year, and it's clearly a broken system, because there's a way that you can actually take the problem and use it to your advantage. And I'll give you an example. When my mother got her immigration paperwork, her legalization as a legal alien at that time, she got it through working the fields. She got it through amnesty. What jobs are immigrants working that your common American doesn't want to work and will never work? The fields. Out in the fields is one. The restaurant business, right? The cooks and the dishwashers, and you know, we literally are part of America's infrastructure.
Even in the trades, right? Because so many people are entitled in America when it comes to tradesman work nowadays, that you'll find a lot of the youth are not going into these trades, right? So even if we look at it long term, who's going to be working these trades jobs in the future? Is because we know less and less American youth are going into that. So we're leaving. We're complaining about jobs. We're complaining about this, but yet our youth are not even taking the jobs that the illegal immigrants are wanting to work.
Specifically labor, right?
Like, specifically labor.
Can you imagine Matt on top of a roof putting together some shingles, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen.
We'd have to get the safety guy out there.
Can you imagine Matt? Can you imagine Matt coming over to my house and like
Fixing your fan.
Hey, it's 6 a.m, Carlos. I'm gonna go ahead and mow your lawn. Is that okay? Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. No.
My landscaper, it's filled with immigrants. And I haven't, checked if they're legal or not. I think that's
Felipe.
the owner, right?
Yeah.
But
We'll let him worry about that.
but guess what? Sunday, this dude gave me a ride for whatever reason, and what did you say about my front grass?
It's the greenest in the yard. It's the
I got the
greenest
best
in the
grass on the
neighborhood.
block.
Yeah.
I got the
out.
best grass on the block.
I got a
Shout out
point
Felipe.
to
Shout out
what
Felipe, the
Garrett,
landscaper.
what Garrett said. You're talking about loyalty. What's insane to me is if you look at it statistically, if you look at Trump and Obama, let's just say stereotypical Republican Democrat, Obama sent more migrants back to their original
Yes, he
country.
did.
He deported
Yes.
more people than Trump. But you'll never hear anyone say anything like that. The
It
news
doesn't-
won't even talk about
It doesn't fit the agenda, right?
It's insane.
Well, first off, right, in order to kind of rectify the problem, you have to take control of the borders.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
I don't think we have the manpower.
So, this is why some of these new bills are trying to be passed. You know, the fact that, what is it, here in Arizona, they're trying to pass a bill that
1231 or which one?
no, the bill that people can actually start
Shooting
at immigrants.
That's insane.
Hey, that's a real bill.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw SB 1231, but there's a bill where you can.
They're trying
to
to
pass a bill.
They're trying to pass
shoot
they're
immigrants.
trying to pass. That's what I was saying earlier. Like they're trying to pass it. So when I read it, there's a court case going on in Arizona next month where a rancher in South Arizona, they found a dead body on his property, and they right now he could be incarcerated or charged for first-degree murder. But he said that he fires off a signal, and he said that he's pleading not guilty. But to go back to hardworking Hispanics, and my parents are from Haiti, so I went to the DR at least 5 or 6 times. The Haitians work like the Mexicans here in the United States.
Shout out to the Haitians.
Shout out to the shout out to the Zoes. So down there in the DR, for the construction, they don't use machinery. They have a trolley where somebody at the bottom is moving the wheelbarrow with the cement, putting it in the bucket, and then somebody is trolling it to the top, and they don't get paid money. They get paid a place to sleep and a plate to eat. So when you come to this country and now the exchange of currency isn't a place to sleep and food, and it's something that you can put in your hand that's tangible, now your work ethic is at a different level. And when you've seen this over and over again, there are Haitians that are here right now that in Miami, because Hispanics, Haitians, that run Miami because they come with that work ethic. They may not have been the smartest, but their work ethic has taken them to that exponential graph of creating businesses, of creating things that most Americans that live here can't do.
And they're way more loyal employees as well.
Absolutely.
Because just the fact that they are getting better resources, like if you actually take care of somebody that's undocumented and they're working for you, they have an undying loyalty to you when you take care of them. So it's just the work ethic. We know that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work, right? And so in America, we might have all this talent, but very few people want to work nowadays. So yeah,
but go back to the source. It's not the kids. We got to go back to the source.
Oh, it's the parents.
There are so many parents that wanted the best for their kid. The boomer generation wanted the best for their kids, so they gave them everything. When you give somebody everything, they have nothing. So there are kids who are born into high net worth homes who don't have a purpose to fight for. They didn't get to cross the border twice like you did. They didn't have immigrant parents that worked hard. My mom worked in a warehouse for 21 years, retired with barely any money, but she had 2 sons who support her and love her through this journey. Now, most people in the American ways they're not built to take care of their parents, to take the Trojan horse and take the lead in the family. They just want to either send their parents to what's a booming industry, the homes for the retirement homes now is a booming industry, because now kids are like, hey, parents, inflation, I can't really take care of you. You actually didn't breed me to take you into my home, and we only have a 3-bedroom and bills are high.
I never understood that concept. Like in my family, we wouldn't be caught dead sending our elderly to a home.
It's a Western civilization.
We keep them. We
type
take
thing.
care of them. It's like you wipe my diaper when I'm a kid. I'll wipe yours.
I take care of my mama right now. You know that. I take care of everything.
It's literally
crazy.
Western civilization.
I will never put her in a resting home.
Like
Why?
United States has so many ass backwards things, like also kicking your kids out right when they're 18.
Stupid.
It makes zero sense, but we've been indoctrinated in this way where the kid should be out right when he's 18. He's a man. It's like, I don't know about you, but I feel like I just barely became a man over the last year, and I'm 29.
Smoking cigars now.
Yeah,
Your
I'm a
balls
real
just
man.
dropped, right? Like,
For sure. Well, when
Stepping up to
Zadie
digits
made him
and-
drop right now.
and it dropped right on his
You
head.
guys just watched it.
But
Garrett
also
George just became a man
in
on
other
this podcast.
countries, if we were all brothers, we say, okay, Zadie's doing well, Los is doing well, and maybe we're struggling. Well, guess what? We all live together. We all share one rent. We have a big enough house to put our family
We're
into.
stacking.
If you have a Lamborghini, if you have a Lamborghini, we all use the Lamborghini.
Well,
right?
hold on, bro. Hold on.
No.
All right, it only fits 2, bro. Let's relax.
Well, that's why we got to alternate. we got to have big calendar. We got the
Monday,
big
you
calendar.
got it. Tuesday, I got it.
Yeah.
I will say the foreigners have some of the best ingenuity I've ever seen.
Yeah, Mexicans make up tools. My buddy who works as a carpenter, he says when he works with Mexicans, they find stuff that you can't fit anything in. They'll make a tool and then make it work.
I did it this weekend.
Right?
I was changing my spark
calm
plugs.
down.
And I couldn't
Calm
get it
down.
out.
Hold on.
So wait, if Mexicans are so good at doing work, how come you never do your own shit? Like you can't even change your own fans, bro.
That's complicated.
You gotta call Adrian. Adrian, help me,
So
bro.
I was blessed. I'm one
you've
of those
been there?
Mexicans, right? I'm one of those Mexicans like I worked labor jobs growing up. The first jobs I ever had were just nothing but labor jobs, right?
What was the hardest labor job you did?
Good question.
Probably construction.
What were you doing? Just digging a hole?
Wheelbarrow, no. Wheelbarrow cleaning up after everybody. And you know the insulation? That was so itchy. Like every time I would put it in, I'm like, like, you know, it feels like glass almost, right?
Yeah, the shards.
It is.
That was tough.
At least you got paid to do that. My
That was
dad
tough.
used to just make me do it.
You guys want to hear a beautiful
Adrian unlocked
story?
a PTSD moment.
So when I was in my teenage years, my mom, we worked through a temp agency, right? And one thing that I will forever, I've worked with my mom, bro.
Wow.
On two different occasions. Who can sit here and say I've worked with my mom? You've worked with your mom? By the way, in a real job, not like
Well, so at Airbnbs, so as I started to build it, we would work together to clean it. But
come
I'm
on,
saying
bro.
like
my mom and I
wiping
were,
toilets
like,
and shit.
We were on, bro. You guys ever
You're
heard
saying
of?
in a temp
you guys ever
agency,
heard?
you
We
got
were in a
placed
temp
at the-
agency. You guys
Him
ever
and
heard of
his
the?
mom, let's go pick up our paychecks.
Yo, you guys ever heard of
yeah,
the?
yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
ever heard of the Dow Corporation? The
Yeah,
yeah,
I
the
did have
soaps.
2 jobs at
Yeah.
one point.
the soaps, right?
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah.
soap and the shampoo. My mom were on the line. We were on the production line, boxing up soaps for months.
Oh yeah, that's different.
You see what I'm saying? My mom and I worked at the airport. She was a dishwasher, and I was what you call back setup. You know those little carts, those little carts that you put all the alcohol in, you put the food in, right?
Yep.
Like I was working back setup in my teenage years. You know, so that again, I've had my fair share of labor jobs. Right now, I wasn't landscaping or plumbing. And then I realized that God had given me a gift of a pretty creative mind, and I would say I'm a pretty good communicator, right? What goes in here and here goes well. It comes out well here, and then once I started to see that, I started to get into sales. You know, that's where I started cutting my teeth. I started cutting my teeth as a professional in sales and customer service.
So once you got into that, you said,
I was like, I'm not
gonna work with my.
I'm not.
I tell this,
yeah.
I tell this to Phil all the time, my brother, everyone, because they're like, why won't you just hang up your TV? I'm like, because I'll just pay someone $50 to hang up my TV. And that might be a little bougie, but I also worked extremely hard industries when I came home. I would work 12 hours, 6 days a week. I worked at steel factories. I worked at a masonry shop. Like everything we did was extremely hard work. So when I got into sales and I started making real money, I was like, I'm never working with my hands ever again.
You already put in the work, right? I
Correct.
think it's important that everybody learns manual labor.
I've been doing manual
Yeah,
labor
man.
since I was 12 years old.
But most manual labor jobs, right? You didn't qualify because there's a height limit to most of those jobs.
He barely
I could
qualifies for
cut
castles
grass,
and
bro.
coasters.
Like you were the guy we sent in through the air vents, right? Like, hey,
Yeah, because I could
grew
fit. No, 'cause
flashlight,
I
right?
actually, no, I did that.
Hey,
Right down that air vent.
Zadie's wife tattooed, you got to be this tall to ride this ride, and she made sure to put it down here. So
He looks like the kids we saw
Now
in the
we're
mine. Garrett made one day his son was just being very needy, so we sat him down and made him watch kids in Indonesia climb through mines about Zadie's height through mines, and they said there's a
kids.
mile into the tunnel. They said that every day they could die, but they have to bring back these tokens to their family to pay these bills. So
for hours,
for hours,
we made him watch.
Well,
Yeah, we made
what
him watch
about
it.
the lithium mines, right? That everybody's talking about.
Because but Americans need to see what's going on across the world. Going back into, we're going to talk about leadership and family. We're lacking leadership because of how soft everyone is.
I'm old school. I'll
Right.
take my son. I say, you're not going to watch a single lick of television. We're going outside. I'm going to make you dig a hole.
Right.
And then when you're done digging it, I'm going to make you fill it back up.
Adrian's good with his hands. I will say that.
They're very small.
They're small.
But
He has like the
very-
Donald
Carlo-
Trump hands.
Carlos is like, that's how all my TVs got hung up. That's
No,
how
really. Like him and my father-in-law Joe, they do all the labor stuff that needs to be done. There's two things I
Changing
do
light
at the
bulbs.
house.
That's the best brother.
Yeah,
The
brother-in-law.
brother
Well, why
that
do you think I'm
just-
always giving
yeah.
him Cubans and stuff?
And what's funny is
I work for cigars.
it's
man.
like my brother knows too, because he's like, well, how come you haven't hung it up? I'm like, because I just want you to come hang it up.